The Zarathi War Council had spent 3 cycles planning the conquest of Earth. Their invasion strategy was flawless, a systematic campaign of psychological warfare, biological weapons, and infrastructure sabotage that had toppled 17 civilizations before. Admiral Korthax himself led the fleet, his reputation for crushing primitive worlds without firing a single plasma bolt was legendary. Phase 1 complete, reported his lieutenant, Vesnik, tentacles writhing with satisfaction. We've introduced the neural parasites into their water systems. The organisms will cause extreme fatigue and mental fog in 90% of the population within days. Korthax's mandibles clicked approvingly as he watched Earth from the cloaked battleship. And the humans? They're calling it Monday morning. They appear to have developed a bitter, heated plant toxin they consume to counteract the effects. They seem annoyed but functional. The Admiral's 6 eyes blinked in sequence. Increase parasite concentration. Sir, they're already consuming more of the plant toxin. They call it coffee, and have begun injecting it directly into their bloodstream through something called espresso shots. Their productivity has actually increased. Phase 2 launched immediately. The Zarathi released their atmospheric bioweapon spores designed to cause severe respiratory inflammation and systemic weakness. Entire worlds had surrendered after a week of exposure. Status report, Korthax demanded after 7 Earth days. They're calling it allergy season. Vesnik's voice carried disbelief. They have an entire industry dedicated to chemicals that fight the symptoms. Some humans are taking something called Benadryl and operating heavy machinery anyway. It's terrifying to witness. Impossible. Korthax slammed his primary arm on the console. Deploy the sonic disruptors. No species can withstand prolonged exposure to 130 decibel frequencies. The sonic weapons activated globally, flooding Earth's major cities with bone-rattling noise designed to cause panic, disorientation, and eventual madness. 3 days later, Vesnik's report was disturbing. Sir, they're calling it a concert. The younger humans are gathering in large groups near our sonic weapons. They're moving rhythmically to the disruption patterns. Some are holding up primitive recording devices. They appear to be enjoying it. One human, Vesnik continued, his color fading to pale purple, claimed it wasn't as good as Metallica and left. Korthax's compound eyes twitched. Release the hallucinogenic gas. Their minds will fracture when reality becomes questionable. The psychotropic weapon spread across Earth's atmosphere, a compound that had reduced the mighty Altivans to babbling chaos within hours. Update, Korthax asked, though he dreaded the answer. Several regions report humans are traveling there intentionally. They're calling it Colorado and Amsterdam. They've somehow monetized our weapon. Some humans are claiming the hallucinations are medicinal and obtaining permits for regular use. The War Council watched their tactical display in horrified silence as humans continued their daily routines, completely unaware they were under assault. Deploy everything, Korthax screamed. All biological weapons, all psychological warfare, everything. The Zarathi unleashed their entire arsenal. Rage-inducing pheromones, depression-causing electromagnetic pulses, memory-disrupting chemicals, fever-inducing bacteria, anxiety-generating frequency waves. Weapons that had broken civilizations were deployed simultaneously. Earth's response was catalogued by an increasingly disturbed Vesnik. Rage pheromones. Black Friday shopping has begun early. Depression waves. Seasonal affective disorder treatment lamp sales up 12%. Memory disruptors. Humans blame something called aging and make lists on devices. Fever bacteria. Flu season arrived early. Vaccine distribution proceeding normally. Anxiety frequencies. Humans report this is just like 2020 and seem oddly prepared. Sir, Vesnik whispered. They have a recreational activity called horror movies where they deliberately expose themselves to fear responses for entertainment. They're consuming our terror weapons with something called popcorn. Admiral Korthax stared at Earth, where humans were going about their lives, occasionally complaining about Mercury being in retrograde or Just one of those weeks. They don't even know we're attacking them, he said quietly. Worse, sir. Vesnik pulled up social media feeds. They're thanking us. Coffee sales are up 400%. The pharmaceutical industry is booming. Something called craft beer has doubled production to help people take the edge off. We've accidentally stimulated their economy. Set course for home, Korthax commanded, defeated. Mark Earth as unconquerable. Note in the record. Species already exists in conditions worse than our weapons can create. Attempted invasion resulted in improving their stock market. As the Zarathi fleet retreated, a human in New York looked at the sky and muttered, "Weird weather today," before downing his third espresso and heading to his second job. The Zarathi Empire's undefeated record was broken by a species that thought their doomsday weapons were just Tuesday.